Hey y'all, what's good? You dub back at it again here in 2019. Told y'all bring y'all more fresh, new content, doing what other people not doing. Now, I suggest you watch my first tournament of powers video. Alright. That one dealt with observation. It had links to it, but it was a really good breakdown of stuff, and you'll see where I'm going with this. Alright. This one won't be as long as an intro. This second tournament, we'll be doing movement. And understand in these tournaments, don't get caught off in all the ancillary auxiliary powers and abilities that come along with these subsections. We dealing specifically with the capacity, because if we don't do focus on breaking down each specific category, we'll be here all day and all night. And people conflate arguments, they misconstrue, misunderstand powers and abilities. All right. Or they'll think it means one thing and it actually means another. They'll attach another power to it. Or they'll be like, "Oh, this character did today." We not doing character specific. All right. We can use examples of characters, but we're not doing character specific. We sticking to the subject matter at hand. And this time it is movement speed. Because I know how sometimes people get down. Alright. In this second tournament, the first matchup will be teleportation versus portals. Remember, this is movement. The second one will be dealing with dimension crossing versus spell casting. Now that one, I'm hyped to break down because that one's going to be crazy. The third one will be doing the classic flight versus super speed. And the fourth final matchup, the fourth final fight of the first round, will be dealing with slowing time versus ultra instinct. And don't worry, we will be addressing all of these when we get to them in more detail. Now, as y'all know how I deal with actual criteria to be as objective and neutral as possible. Sometimes a surprise winner comes out of this whole thing. Sometimes one that you might not anticipate or might not favor. You can always argue down in the comment section. I invite the debate, but I give y'all reasons as to why I choose one over the other. And these reasons are based on number one, versatility, number two, of ease of usage and mastery, and number three, effectiveness. Because I'm not trying to be hypocritical out here like some occasionally get caught in the trap. No genjutsus out here. So, first one, teleportation versus portals. What do I mean by teleportation? Teleportation is pretty straightforward. You go from one area to another instantaneously. We see people use this instantaneous movement / the instant transmission with Son Goku in Dragon Ball. We see Namikaze Minato use his kunai to teleport. We've seen people use beams of energy with machines to teleport. Okay, we've seen teleportation of all kinds and all forms of fiction. We know what teleportation does. Right? Portals. Now, portals are interesting. Portals are like portals can do something like what you've seen Nav and Hunter x Hunter do, where he opens up a vacuum, like another like pocket dimension. We've seen it with Hit and Dragon Ball Super, where he literally like used a time space pocket dimension thing. There's all kinds of portals. You seen it. Doctor Strange is using portals, but that's more so we'll get into that in the next matchup. But more portals is more like pocket dimensions kind of stuff. Um, Sometimes is base temporal thing. I think Scarlet Witch uses this base temporal, like portal one and then open to another. I think there was a character jogged my memory from Spider-Man the animated series, Spot, that did this. I believe his name was Spot, where he would go from one hole and open up into another. We've seen this with different characters being able to do this. Now, versatility. Teleportation is pretty straightforward and it's not that versatile. You know what you're getting when you teleport. You're going from one place to another, right? Pretty simple. When it comes to portals are mad devastating with the teleportation. Because like you could have someone you like Nav, you could say, how is this movement? You're moving objects from one place to another, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. Let's think outside the box a little bit here. You can move one and store into another place. You can hide out you can be here, stick your arm, and your arm coming from another place. Katakuri in One Piece utilizes with his awakening with his mochi, where he literally punched one area, and I believe his arm came out of another, or he made arms come out of seemingly thin air. Like, portals are insanely versatile, so that clearly wins in that matchup. When it comes to ease of use and mastery, I would have to go with teleportation. The only problem with teleportation is accuracy. You get over that, you're good. You could the effect of someone like Minato, where you've literally put scatter kunai throughout the battlefield. You can choose where you want to go. You have that advantage. Portals, you got to be more fine tuned. You got to be more fine tuned. So I would definitely give teleportation the edge in that regard. Now, as far as effectiveness, portals. You would think teleportation because, oh, I can just go. We've seen Son Goku not be able to activate for his specific thing was Ki's signature. Okay? He had to be able to do it. Other places, maybe that place is shut down. Teleportation in the sense of Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler has to have been there. Like there are limitations to teleportation. Okay? When it comes to portals, there are, but you can go like you have a hit who can go into a pocket time space. What am I supposed to do with that? Portals wins this pretty casually, actually. Next up, we got Dimension Crossing versus Spellcasting. Now, here's where here's where fiction starts getting dicey. And you'll see this with a couple of abilities later. Like in the next tournament, there will be seemingly similar things, but they're not. And I'll explain why. Dimension crossing is, for example, with Magic from the X-Men. Okay, she literally crosses over a dimension to get to where she's going. Like she'd be going through limbo and stuff. Okay, an entire dimension. Doctor Strange can cross over to like the dark dimension and stuff. Okay, so you're literally crossing from one realm, or one plane of existence to another. That's dimension crossing in a nutshell. Without getting too crazy, spell casting is what it sounds like. Like you do some spell, and there's all kinds of spells to where you're able to move, let's say, throughout the battlefield, whether it be levitation, whether it be some form of teleportation, opening portals. Like it's pretty open ended, and that goes into versatility, spellcasting. Without, come on now, you do a spell, you can have 10 different movement options. It's like, let's say you were playing an MMO, okay, and you were a mage class, and you're able to do a spell and choose multiple different things, move beyond the enemy, move a portal on the ground to drop them into. You can use this offensively and defensively. Dimension crossing, one. You got one usage, okay? That's it. It's not even close and debatable in that regard. Ease of usage and mastery, spellcasting. Spellcasting. You can have a relatively basic mage learn a basic movement thing to at least dodge or something, right? Not powerful, maybe not know the martial arts, but can learn that. Dimension crossing is a lot of problems, as Magic from the X-Men use it. Very powerful, but very problematic at the same time. But so for some people, dimension crossing, you either have to use extra dimensional energies, or it's a strain on the body. So no, ease of usage is not on dimensional crossing. And as far as effectiveness, again, spellcasting. It may not be perfect, but you have a higher chance of probability success rate than dimension crossing. So far in my tournaments, this is the worst matchup by far. Dimension crossing seems like a great idea, maybe for battlefield removal. But other than that, in battle, it ain't good. You're crossing over into another dimension in order to get to a place. That is massively ineffective. It don't get much more ineffective than that. Too much chance of not success, rather than success. So this is a casual win for spellcasters all across the globe. In the third fight, we got flight versus super speed. Now, come on, this is the most basic, and we know what flight is. Classic Superman flies, Flash runs. I mean, there's more than running the super speed, but y'all know what this is. Come on, I'm not going to insult y'all intelligence. I'm not going to insult mine. So, versatility, flight versus super speed. I say they're on par. They're on par. Flight, you know what flight brings you to the table. You can do all kind of aerial maneuver. You're not stuck to the ground. That's versatile in of itself. Okay, and there's all types of flying. Right, there's different power sources. There's pure flying from physical strength. There's gliding. There's energy projection. There's manipulation of the atoms in you. So there's all types of flying, which affects you in all. There's gravity manipulation. Okay, but flying gives you all kinds of aspects that being stuck to the ground doesn't. So that's an advantage right there. As far as a movement, being able to move effectively all across, run, fly circles around somebody, being able to get there fast. Super speed, though, potentially movement, phasing through objects, running up walls, practically flying because you move so fast that you can cast yourself off in a great distance, almost on the way that the Golden Age Superman used to fly. Okay, um, creating a vacuum, creating you can do all kinds of things with super speed. So both of them equally as versatile. Ease of usage and mastery. Again, I would say it's on par because both can be massively difficult for beginners to learn how to use. I I would give the edge slightly, ever so slightly to flight. Here's why. Because super speed, depending on what kind of super speed you have, could be really devastating on how to learn. Flight, you just gotta learn how to control that mess. We're like hitting stuff. Super speed, you gotta learn what you're capable of. You could be Jessica Jones in Marvel Netflix. There was a dude Wizard where he just like spazzed out. You gotta have that kind of super speed and not know what's wrong with you. That's scary. Okay. So I gotta give the edge slightly to flight. Not much, but it's a small edge. And when it comes to effectiveness, I gotta give it a super speed all day, every day. All day, every day. And I love flight. Flight would, after invisibility, be my favorite ability to have. Maybe do a video on that in the future. But super speed, bro. What the Flash can do, bro. What I was supposed to do with that? What the Flash can do? What I was supposed to do with that, dog? Now, it seems like we have a little bit of tie here. I have to go in specifically movement. I have to go super speed because the effectiveness of what super speed can give me beats out any slight edge that flight can give me with ease of usage. All right, super speed for movement. I mean, it's the base what you think of when you think of movement, and there's a reason for that because of all what you can do in a way from especially in a fight. In a fight, you're not always going to be able to fly, but you can damn sure use your super speed, or you can use your super speed to get out of whatever situation you can. You got some handcuff, vibrate, get them things off you, or phase through objects, or dodge quickly. If I can't fly in a low ceiling, I can just run circles around you, literally. So super speed wins this one. Now, last matchup of the first round, we have Slowing Time versus Ultra Instinct. Megatu no Gokui. Megato no Gokui, excuse me. Now, Slowing Time. Alright, it's pretty straightforward. You have someone like Dio Bren, the world, who's able to, in his case, stop time to where for anywhere, I think he started 2 seconds or 0.5 seconds, all the way to like 10 seconds. He's able to stop the work time around him. He's the one that is able to move. Or in the case of Hunter Zolomon, the second Reverse Flash. Or Zoom, excuse me, Zoom. I believe his name is Zoom. where he was able to literally slow the time of the world so that it seemed like he had super speed. Yeah, super speed. He moved normally, but he's able to slow the world around him. Think the power of slowness when it came to the turtle, another old school Flash villain. And so there is that. So slowing time, whether it be slowing the time or world around you, slowing yourself to where you move at a completely different pace, slowing another's time, it's the perception of time and the action of time. So there's that. Versus Ultra Instinct. Now we see in Dragon Ball Super, classic, where you're able to instinctively dodge and eventually instinctively move. Okay, you're able to move without thinking and let your body react, and there's no delay from the brain to the synapses to the brain to your body. You just instinctively going. Now, there are some drawbacks to it. At least when it came to Son Goku, hasn't fully mastered it. He has terrible stamina in this form, but regardless of that, is activity and movement. As far as versatility, gotta go with slowing time because you can slow another's time around you. You can put a bubble of time around that person. You can slow time around you in the scope. You can slow potentially stop time at least for a time period. Like it's a lot. Ultra Instinct is mad good. It's got its own versatility. You're able to act on its own, but you're stuck to yourself. Time you're dealing with time manipulation. So that's the effectiveness. Ease of usage and mastery, gotta go with Ultra Instinct. Gotta go with Ultra Instinct casually. Son Goku was doing it without thinking. Literally. He didn't even know he was doing it at first. Right? He wasn't perfect, but he was just doing it. And he trained some with Whis, but not like that. Like you could see other people tapping into this. In fact, in our world, there are versions of the state of the art of the state of nothingness to where you're moving and doing things without thinking. Okay, when it comes to slowing time, Dio, for example, Dio Brando, he had to constantly use he know like it took time. Star Platinum, it took them time to figure out how to do it, and that's the thing. You got to figure out your abilities, so that takes time to develop. And at times, sometimes you don't have in a fight. Okay, you can say, well, they're slowing time. Yeah, but you can get around that, especially if they can't do it for a long time. So slowing time will take ironically, a longer time to figure out how to do. Effectiveness. I gotta go with Ultra Instinct. Slowing time for movement is great, but it can be counteracted. Ultra Instinct, if you not ready for that, if you're not someone like Jiren, you gonna get wrecked. If I'm able to instinctively dodge everything that you're throwing at me and effectively counter you and move faster than you, Ultra Instinct brings Ultra Instinct is a problem for most people, right? Especially if you have good stamina with it. You look at someone like Whis, where he just be finessing folk. He just finesses. Here's the definition of what finessing means. That's all I need to say. Whis. You look at Flash villains. How effective are Flash villains that slow time? They take mad L's. You know the track record. Come on now, y'all. So I gotta give Ultra Instinct the win on this one. Alright, so out of the first round we have portals, spell casting, super speed, and ultra instinct. Tournament with the second options winning. Seems to be a trend. Alright. Now, portals versus spell casting in round 2. Let's jump right into it. Versatility, spellcasting beats out portals. In fact, you can do potential portal casting and spellcasting. But spellcasting can do so much more. That one I don't think should be debated. Ease of usage versus mastery. Portals. Portals. The thing about spellcasting is it's like some say the jack of all trades. It's like you know how sometimes, let's say again, I'll bring up the MMO and you're a mage, right? You have 10 choices to choose from. Portals limits what you do in a way that instead of having to think about 10 moves, you have 3. Way easier to quickly choose the 3 moves than it is 10. Way easier to learn those 3 moves than it is 10. 10 can be overwhelming. 3, oh, I can do that. It's pretty simple and self-explanatory. Effectiveness. I gotta go with portals. Spell casting it runs into the same problem that fortune telling does. It is effective, but portals are way more effective. Again, I can drop somebody. Yeah, I said spellcasting has more versatility, but if a spellcaster is running into somebody who's an expert at portal usage, dude, that spellcaster, while that spellcaster is getting off a spell, that portal user is opening up a portal beneath that spellcaster's feet and closing it. Battlefield removal. Or that I instantly open up on some Door No Me status, the Door Devil Fruit in One Piece, and I'm dipping and then coming out while you're still spell casting. Boom, hitting you. Or I'm hitting you from all over. Most mages are not that fast when spell casting. So while they have more versatility, up against someone like a portal user, it's a terrible matchup. So yeah, Portal surprisingly gets to the final round, ladies and gentlemen. Now, in our second round, we got Super Speed versus Ultra Instinct. Versatility. No shocker that Super Speed wins this one. What the Flash is able to do, and what Son Goku is able to do. Who y'all picking as far as in movement? Come on, y'all know the truth. But you can say Ultra Instinct is faster, sure. But as far as in the versatility, Ultra Instinct may send attacks your way. You can react at super speed. You can have those attacks phase through you. You can phase through them. You hear me? You could send a cyclone around that. You could do a lot of more things with what super speed does than versus what Ultra Instinct does. Okay? You can run away and do some infinite mass punch. Now, maybe Ultra Instinct reacts to that. Right? But just saying, you have a lot more versatility when it comes to super speed. Ease of usage and mastery, Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct. When it comes to super speed, we've seen too many speedsters be counteracted. Even experienced speedsters get wrecked. And you sitting here going like, bro, what? You move at super speeds, but that don't mean your body's superhuman. Like, it might be superhuman, but it still can get messed up. Ultra Instinct, like, again, you can train it effectively and it's hard for even a god, but Son Goku was doing this instinctive, like it's almost like tapping into yourself. All the views you build up, you utilize, or it's your mind state. You understand? It's your mentality. So there's a lot more you can tap into this a lot easier than it is to tap into super speed over ease of usage. Surprisingly enough, effectiveness. I'm going to give the edge to Ultra Instinct. Here's why. Super speed is great. It is phenomenal. It is one of the best abilities to have. But it's really limited to the imagination of the user and the experience level of the user. The flashes are beautiful examples. Plus, it's a hell of a lot easier to get caught off guard. Ultra Instinct, if you're using it effectively, I bring up Whis. When have we ever seen Whis touch? Really? Folk, he doesn't even have to use his other hacks abilities. Whis finesses. Whis finesses, bro. And we ain't even seen the Grand Priest go, bro. Like, if you would have read the Dragon Ball Super manga, even though Lord Beerus, he hadn't mastered, had 6 opponents around him. And homeboy was finessing. And he wasn't even a master of it. That's what I'm saying. Ultra Instinct, bro. The effectiveness when you're able to tap into it is absolutely ridiculous. So, final battle of movement. You got Portal versus Ultra Instinct. Now, Versatility. Portals. This shouldn't be a shocker. Ultra Instinct is limited on his versatility. We done been through the same rodeo. Every single matchup is limited. Okay, so Portals easily wins. Easily, you're able to move spatial. You have freaking a head type time dimension, things like that. Okay, ease of usage and mastery. Once again, Ultra Instinct wins this one. Portals, you can use it. You can learn how to use it and stuff. But Ultra Instinct, all you have to do is tap into the right mentality, the right clear your mind, whatever the case may be, and you effectively do it. Okay? Portals, you gotta concentrate. You gotta know what you're doing. You might have to have a slight delay. Ultra Instinct ain't got a delay. That's the whole point of it. Effectiveness. This is a tough one because on the one hand, you have it to where you can go through multiple places. You can send people to it. You can open up a portal. The thing is, Ultra Instinct's a really bad matchup for portals. While spellcasting was a cakewalk and a baby for it, Ultra Instinct, you react instinctively to what your opponent's bringing, and you can attack them instinctively. So while someone may be opening up the portals, you're also reading. It's reading and reacting, and also anticipation, all bundled into one. So sometimes you know how the old saying styles make fights? This is what it is. Ultra Instinct wins this tournament. Ultra Instinct, while it's not the most versatile movement, its effectiveness, that's why it's an angel god level ability. Its effectiveness is too nasty. It's disgusting. Portals, you can win if you're an effective user, but if you're coming up against someone who's a master of Ultra Instinct, I gotta give 90% of the edge to that Ultra Instinct user. And that's a very high percentage. Portal user can win, but Ultra Instinct, especially if you give, because Son Goku was learning as his moves were getting sharper. He was learning in within seconds. He was adapting. We ain't talking no doomsday adaptation. We were talking learning your fighting style as he fought you. What I'm supposed to do with that? What I'm supposed to do with that? So, Ultra Instinct is the winner. Some of y'all may not be shocked by that at all. I expect to wonder, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on this one. What do you have is coming up when? What do you think of some of these matchups? Which ability would you rather have? Please, we can debate it down in the comment section. I would love to hear y'all thoughts. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace.